Every system mirrors the awareness of its creator. That's what I said in the first episode. But what happens when the system starts mirroring back and the creator stops recognizing themselves? A while ago, I came across a creator who had been demonetized by YouTube. His appeal was reviewed and denied by artificial intelligence. The reason given, his comment appeared to be too AI generated. I don't know if that was true. I didn't regularly watch his channel. But I noticed something in comments. Someone wrote that what YouTube really needed was a competitor, a better platform, a platform built on human judgment, human curation, human values. And I found myself thinking, do they understand what they're asking? To compete with YouTube at scale, a new platform would need recommendation algorithms, content moderation systems, spam detection, engagement optimization. It would need to process millions of hours of upload video every day. The infrastructure required to challenge YouTube is the same infrastructure YouTube uses. You cannot build the alternative without building the thing you're trying to escape. The commenters saw the problem clearly. They just couldn't see all the way around it. But that's not what stayed with me. What stayed with me was the creator, not the demonetization, not the AI irony. The question of what was happening inside his mind before any of that occurred. Most creators don't start from strategy. They start from something that needed to come out. A love of music, a need to teach, the compulsion to say a thing that wasn't being said anywhere else. Something personal, specific, and real that existed before the platform did. And then the platform responds, not with judgment, not with enthusiasm, with data. Watch time, click-through rate, impressions, subscriber velocity, average view duration. The dashboard becomes a continuous signal about what is working and what is not. The working means retained, clicked, subscribed, returned to. The creator reads the signal, adjusts, tests a different thumbnail, shifts the title, moves the hook earlier, trims the middle. The content changes, not dramatically, not dishonestly, but incrementally, in the direction of what the data rewards. This is not weakness. This is how humans work inside responsive environments. We adapt to feedback. That is not a character flaw. It is the cognition functioning as designed. The problem is not that adaptation happens. The problem is what gets adapted away. There's a question most creators ask at the beginning that many stop asking somewhere in the middle. What do I actually want to say? Not what performs, not what retains, not what the dashboard rewards. What do I want to say? The moment that question stops being the first question is the moment the mirror shifts. Instead of the platform reflecting the creator's awareness, the creator begins reflecting the platform's. That inversion is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. There is no moment where a creator decides to stop being themselves. There is only accumulation of small adjustments, each one reasonable in isolation, each one moving incrementally away from the original signal. And then one day, the content is optimized, and the creator is somewhere else entirely. Audiences feel this before they can name it. Not always consciously, but the exhaustion is real. The specific tiredness that comes from content that is technically competent, correctly formatted, properly paced, and somehow empty. Content that was made for the dashboard rather than for the person watching. The attention economy did not create this problem. It accelerated a problem that exists. Whenever human beings try to create inside systems that measure and reward specific behaviors, the system doesn't intend to hollow the creator out. It intends to maximize engagement. Those objectives occasionally align. When they conflict, the system does not notice. Only the creator does, and only if they're asking the original question. I think about this relation to what I said in the first episode. Every system mirrors the awareness of its creator. A platform built under pressure encodes pressure. A platform built to maximize engagement encodes the assumption that engagement is primarily value. And a creator who internalizes that assumption long enough begins building from it rather than against it. The machine doesn't invent the pattern, it extends it. What the algorithm does to the mind behind it is not dramatic, it is gradual. It is the slow replacement of one question with another. What do I want to say? Becomes, what will this do? Until the distance between the two is so large enough that the creator can no longer clearly see where they started. This channel exists in deliberate resistance to that replacement. Not because the metrics don't matter, they do. Eventually, a message that reaches no one changes nothing. But the sequence matters. Clarity first, transmission second. If I lose the original question in pursuit of the signal, I have nothing left to transmit worth receiving. The mirror I'm trying to hold up here is not flattering and it's not judgmental. It shows what is actually present, including sometimes the awareness that a person speaking has drifted from something they did not intend to leave behind. That's worth slowing down for. Not optimization, orientation. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to hear more, feel free to like and subscribe.